I have two questions also.
Yes.
What is the distinction between the higher self and the oversoul?
Higher self, for lack of a better term, is like an intermediate level that is created by the oversoul to relate to the physical personality structure. So it has characteristics of the physical personality, but not the same kind of limitations. The oversoul then is above that.
Okay. In November, you said that the oversoul is the aspect that chooses the focus.
In a sense, yes.
Okay. So
the general theme.
So at that point, would it be the alignment of the higher self and the physical mind that gets into a certain type of sync where the oversoul then chooses a different focus?
It can, yes.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Well, there's still something there I'm trying to understand, but I can't verbalize it right now.
What is the effect that you desire from the understanding you seek?
Remember our last private where I'm assuming it was my higher self that told me something that was not necessarily true, but it was to get me to see that I was playing the game of sacrifice?
Yes.
So I guess I'm a little confused still of following the messages of the higher self.
The idea of following the messages of the higher self is simply always to put you in touch with your true self, no matter how it does it. Because sometimes when the physical mind thinks it knows where it's going, the job of the higher mind is to distract it so it will actually get where it needs to go. That's why I say don't worry about the how, because you'll never know how. Sometimes the higher self has to be the trickster. That's why the trickster figure is so prominent in many indigenous societies and is revered as a great teacher, because they recognize that the physical mind insists on things, and sometimes the higher mind has to play the trickster to defocus it so it will actually get where it needs to go. So you can trust the overall process. It isn't about trusting the actual literalness of the communication. It's about trusting the overall process.
Okay.
You follow me?
Yes, okay.
Does that help you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Second question was, earlier you discussed opposites.
Yes.
And you know how in general the law of attraction is usually discussed as like attracts like?
Yes.
Can you discuss what the mechanism and the relevancy is when opposites attract?
Yes. It's the same thing. Opposites attracting is the same thing as like attracts like. If two things are opposite, aren't they alike in their oppositeness?
Okay.
Did you get that?
Yeah, I get that, but here's
Yes.
Let's say the more I've been focused on actually just receiving and attracting
Yes.
some abundance,
Yes.
actually less of the tickets to pay my rent have come in. Actually, no tickets to pay the rent have come
right.
in. So I understand I'm using this idea of opposites.
Yes. But again,
I need help.
The idea is that when you reach the opposite pole, then the idea that they are the extremes is what makes them alike. Then they come back together. Like attracts like. As soon as something becomes the absolute polar opposite of something else, they now have that in common. That's how they are alike. They are the opposite of each other. And thus, in that sense, they contain the same ingredient, the same frequency of oppositeness. And that is inexorably attractive, because it's so absolutely pure on each side.
So I should just continue to trust this process.
Get in touch with whether you are truly clear about what it is you are doing when you talk about focusing. Because sometimes you can actually focus yourself out of the process when you think you're in it. It is really more an issue of letting go than focusing. That is what you can trust. So you may be focusing too much. You may be trying too hard. Nevertheless, sometimes one of the things that might need to happen before the manifestation can move in another direction is it may need to first create a limbo state in which the attraction can occur. It may need to sweep out all the old ideas, creating a sense of sort of nothing happening or nothingness in order for something to fill the void. Because if you have filled that void up with things that don't really serve you, you actually sort of have to sweep them out of the void to make room for something that will come in to serve you. And in a space-time reality, sometimes clearing out the void may take a little time and make you wonder whether the process is actually working. But getting to the void tells you that it is, because you're making room for something new. All right? And if you then use the old standby of neutrality, be neutral to the void in that sense. In other words, don't assume the void is bad, but assume it's positive. Then you'll be able to use the void in a positive way as part of your process. And by using the void in a positive way, it can fill with positive things. It can become a positive attribute. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I do understand this void, and I think what I was kind of questioning was why sometimes I use the technique and it does, the like attracts like, and
Yes.
sometimes the opposites attract. But I think what I felt, what rang true for me with you, what you just said, was that I'm actually clearing that space for something very
Yes.
different.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
One more question before we continue.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I'm so excited to be here.
I am excited that you are there too.
Okay, so first I'd like to discuss the dream that I had that sort of brought me here today.
Oh, all right.
I had this dream that I was in a small room with a group of people I'd never seen before. We all were there to see you for a healing.
Well, all right.
And so-
You mean like now?
Yeah, pretty much. And so the lights went out and I laid down and you came over to me and you placed one hand beneath the left side of my neck and another hand in the middle of the right side of my back and began like electrocuting me, like pumping intense electricity through my body, or like my back was arching.
How exciting.
I know, and I was breathing really heavily, and it almost kind of hurt, but I was just trying to stay with it because I
All
knew
right.
it was good.
All right.
And then, what was incredible about it was there was no. It seamlessly transitioned to me being in my bed. Like
Yes.
I never recognized the point where I woke up. Like I
Yes.
just sort of was like, oh my God, I'm in my bed, and I still almost felt like the pressure on my back, and my hands were like buzzing, and it was just an incredible way to wake up. And so that morning, I looked at your website and saw this was going on, and I was like, all right, I'm going.
Well, thank you for your synchronicity. And thank you for using the energy that we are always sending to all of you. And in your dream state, manifesting your version of me, which is actually a symbol of your higher self, to allow you to be in stronger communication with it.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'd also like to ask about, I love singing.
Yes.
And I was curious, you already kind of answered part of this question with the C# thing. I'm definitely
Yes.
going to work with that. And I would like to know, I know the Sasani no longer need to speak to each other, but do you still use your voices for anything?
We do.
Do you sing, or do you have other applications?
Yes.
Can you give me an example of any more applications to use your voices for?
Sometimes we can get together and by creating certain tonal resonances, create an energy field, a vibratory field that allows for certain kinds of manifestations to crystallize into materiality.
Could you give an example of a kind of a manifestation?
It may be that we allow a spirit form to take on temporary physicality in our dimension.
That's beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, let us move on. April, would you like to peel away the next number? Number 12. What have you found?
I found my way. It's a compass needle.
The compass needle. All right. Simply put, synchronicity, passion, all these things, these are your magnetic north. These are your true self vibrations. You are the compass needle. Anytime you are willing to allow yourself to point in the direction, to move in the direction of what it is that excites you the most, what it is that is most true for you, what it is you are most passionate about, you will always be pointing in the direction of your true est self. Always. Always. Anytime you go in another direction, you will always wind up one way or another in your truest self, but you may be creating a longer path than you actually prefer to take. If the road needs to meander, let it meander naturally within your passion. Let your passion show you that you need to turn left or you need to turn right. But I would suggest you do that rather than insist on turning left or insist on turning right when your passion actually lies in another direction. Anytime you bring insistence into it, anytime you overpower the compass needle with another magnet of assumption and bend the needle around in that direction thinking that's the way you ought to go, you will always be creating a tributary that will take you on a detour, a longer path around than you could have. Again, no judgment, nothing wrong with it. If you decide to do that, that's your choice and you can still learn a lot from it. You will always wind up eventually where you need to wind up because all roads lead to God. All roads lead to you. All of them. Some may just take a little longer than others depending upon the choices you make along the way. It's up to you. But you will all eventually find that they all lead to the same place. Whether it's 1 lifetime, 20 lifetimes, it doesn't matter. You are all eternal. You are all eternal. What's your hurry? And again, paradoxically, when you actually slow down and take the time to really see where you are with your compass and really let yourself follow the actual needle where it's pointing toward your highest passion, then the idea of taking the time to do that, of slowing down to do that, is actually what will paradoxically accelerate your life. You need to slow down to speed up. The paradox is many of you experience missing things because you're in such a hurry to get there. Only by focusing on those things as if you're worried you will miss them makes it possible to have the experience of missing them. When you slow down and don't worry about missing them, you will see that everything occurs in its proper timing and you will do everything you intended to do in this life. So enjoy the ride because the ride is the thing itself. The ride is the thing in another form. The ride is the thing in unfoldment. It is the thing. It is what you call the achievement, the goal, the destination. The journey is the destination in unfoldment. If you just arrived at a destination without the journey, you wouldn't even recognize it for what it was. You would have no way of relating to it. You would not have gathered the things that you require, that you decided you require, that you chose to require in this life to fully appreciate yourself and it. So, appreciation makes things grow. Appreciation is growth. The idea is to slow down and appreciate so that the growth can actually happen more quickly. Number 13. Ooh. What have we got?
Positive and negative.
And removing other 13A, 13B. All right. Now, thank you very much. You may sit down.
All right. And you want me to describe what's there?
If you wish.
Okay, it's a line. It looks like it could be a ruler or something.
It is, in that sense, simply a number line. A 0 in the middle of it, negative numbers to one side, positive numbers to the other side. This is simply a typical mathematical construct that is common on your planet. The idea here is that this simple number line is the direct, simple analogy to the concept of positive and negative energy. When we talk about the concept of positive and negative situations and energy, we are only speaking of them in the mechanical context that one direction is integrative and one direction is segregative. There is absolutely no subjective judgment call on this at all. Certain acts are simply, by their definition, mechanically negative in this context. In the same way that the 1 on one side of the 0 is a negative 1 and not a positive 1, and that the 2 is a negative 2 and not a positive 2. There's no judgment call on this. It's simply the way the line is set up to represent numbers on either side of the 0 point. So when a certain act is described as negative, that doesn't necessarily mean it is a judgment value in any way, shape, or form. It's simply a description of the mechanism of it. Sometimes a negative act can be used in a positive way. Limitations have positive reasons. Sometimes separating things out, even though it is a mechanically negative act, can actually produce a positive result. So, we simply wish you to understand at this point that when we talk about the idea of positive and negative, it doesn't even mean that every act you do in life has to be structured in a mechanically positive way just to have a positive effect. It's how you use everything. And even a mechanically negative act can be used for a positive reason, a positive perspective, and thus then create a positive result. So we wish to make clear that there are levels to this idea, and it's not really meant as a judgment call. It is simply meant as a description of the mechanism being used, and that in and of itself does not determine the kind of outcome you will actually experience. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Thank you. Would you like to strip away another brain teaser? All right. What number would you like?
4, 5, and 6 are my choice.
All right. 5. And you have revealed? Sheep. Thank you. You may sit down. Who wishes to volunteer to answer this question? All right.
Come on up.
All right. Thank you. Good morning, class. Thank you. Today, of your day, we will begin this interaction by first and foremost, once again, thanking each and every one of you for co-creating with us this transmission. We will be conducting this day of your time a type of class, a type of laboratory. There will be a test. Just kidding. No, I'm not. There will be a variety of things that we will do in this interaction today. We will be sharing some knowledge. We will be having some discussion. We will be having some fun. We will be playing some games. We will be exploring many different ideas that we have discussed in the past from a different point of view. We will be shedding some light from different perspectives on many of the concepts we have discussed, and a few new ones today, so that we can begin together to create a common language, a common understanding of some of these principles that you can then apply in your reality, apply in your lives, to create the kind of joyful, creative, passionate lives you say you would like to have. And the purpose again of this is to begin to form a coherent and cohesive understanding, a holistic understanding of many of the different ideas that have been discussed for many years in what you call your metaphysical communities, bringing some of them down to a very simplified and grounded understanding so that, once again, it is easy and effortless to apply in your life. At first, again, some of these concepts may seem to be a little puzzling, a little confusing, but that is only because it may be in an expression you are not used to. But again, that is all right, Bit by bit, we will form a common understanding. We will explore together, as deeply as you wish, many of these principles, so that we understand and you understand it as fully as you possibly can, and in that way, it can be very effective in your day-to-day experience of your lives and in following your passion and living your lives to the fullest, which is the only thing you are required to do in life. Just be yourself as fully as you can. It's the only agreement you have with creation. However you choose to do that is up to you, and it is the combination of understanding and agreement that you have created between your physical mind and your higher mind, and learning to form a strong relationship, a close communion between your physical mind and your higher mind is what will allow you to feel that you can glide through life effortlessly, which does not mean you will not have challenges, but will give you the tools with this understanding to face them in a joyful, creative way, to make them play instead of obstacles, and allow yourself to see that the universe really is your playground, and that it is really up to you to decide how you will experience your own existence. But exist you will. You will never change that. We have talked many times about the idea we call the 4 laws, and we will talk about them again today, but in a different way. We will talk about the 4 laws as states of being, so that again, you can bring them down to earth and apply them in your day-to-day lives in different ways than you may have applied them before. We will also, during the course of this interaction, offer you a few brain teasers. Now, these puzzles, these word plays, already exist on your planet. Some of you may already know them. We encouraged the channel to do some research for us to find certain ones that would touch on certain things for the purpose of illustrating how preconceptions work, how your brains process things, how you think. Just for the purpose of playfully illuminating some of the reasons how beliefs and definitions may color what you see in life, and how to be more aware of when you have those particular points of view, and how to change them in a way that serve you. So, during the course of any particular brain teaser, we would like to ask that any of you that may recognize them and know what the answers are, keep that to yourselves, so that those that do not know may benefit from the new experience. All right? All right? Thank you. Want to make sure class is awake. All right. Now then, let us begin in the following way. April.
Yes, Bashar.
Will you please be so kind as to walk up to the board that has been created and remove the piece of paper in the upper left labeled number 1.
All right.
And what does it say?
It says
Prime
prime radiant.
Prime Radiant. Thank you. You may sit. Now, we have discussed this concept a little bit, and today, through the creativity and kindness of many people, we are able to provide a little bit more of a graphic demonstration of this concept to really visually drive the point home into the center of your brain. Remember this: every new thought literally, physiologically alters the neurological pathways in your brain. Every single thought. So one of the things that we will be doing here today is providing ideas and demonstrations in such a manner so that the brain paths will be altered, not without your permission, but will be altered in such ways as to allow you more ease of absorption and understanding of many of these concepts, to make them your own, to make them, as you say in your language, second nature, really first nature, so that you will apply them more automatically in your lives. Now, this concept, prime radiant, is based on the idea that many of your scientists, many of your physicists have begun to explore now for quite some time. The idea has been termed in your society the unified theory, M theory, string theory, many different things. And they are approaching an understanding of this concept as we know it. The idea basically being that you can render everything down to its simplest possible component. That everything that seems to be different things are actually expressions of one thing. Now, we would like to take this a step further than your scientists have yet to do by explaining the idea in its most basic way, again, reiterating that when we talk about the idea that everything is one thing, we mean it even unto the concept of what you call a single particle. Now, we understand that the word particle is just a euphemism. It is energy, it is consciousness, it can represent or express itself as a particle, as a wave, as energy, as mass. But for the sake of convenience in this conversation, we will use the concept particle, again, just to aid and assist you in your visualization. The idea, therefore, of understanding the prime radiant and how everything is one is to imagine that there is only one particle in existence. I don't mean one kind of particle, I mean only one particle. That's it. All of existence is made from the same one particle. In the ultimate time-sharing plan. What do we mean by that? I will explain. And we will explain with a beautiful demonstration. Kirby, yes. Are you ready to assist? Yes. Kathy, yes. Are you ready to turn down the lights? Yes. Not yet. All right. Now, as you can already see, there are on either side of the channel's body 2 round crystals. For now, assume there is only one. Only one. This is the particle, the one particle that exists, the only one. Now, if that particle does not really have mass, because there's nothing else, nothing to interact with, no gravity, in a sense, nothing else, just that particle, no real space, it has no mass, it can really move in any way it wants to. It can move beyond the speed of light. In fact, its speed, again a euphemism, can really be infinite. It can move anywhere it wants as fast as it wants. So the idea is, let us say, this particle decided to move from here to here. Kirby? All right. Now, there it is. Now you say, well, it's over there. Now, let's say it is moving here and there and there and here and back and forth. And the idea is that because it can move at infinite speed, you can start moving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Turn off the lights. Back and forth, back and forth. As it moves back and forth, and as it does so at infinite speed, you can ramp up the speed back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, faster, 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 until it is going back and forth so quickly it appears to be in 2 places at once. Do you see this? All right. It is actually going back and forth. but it appears to be two places at once. But what this appears like to you in your physical reality is it appears like two particles. It's not. It's the same particle. The idea, therefore, to expand this notion is if you imagine that this single particle can move at infinite speed, what that means is it can be everywhere at the same time, appearing as if it is a multitude of particles when in fact it's all the same one particle moving back and forth in an intricate pattern, an intricate geometric pattern of consciousness that thus then makes it appear that the universe is full of different particles, different atoms, different things. But every single thing, every star, every galaxy, every rock, every being, every atom, every subatomic particle are all made out of the same one particle. So when we talk about the idea of everything being one, not only is it meant spiritually and energetically, it is literally meant physically as well. When this particle crosses its own path in this incredibly beautiful and complex geometric pattern, when it crosses its own path, it reinforces itself. It becomes denser and denser and denser and denser. It has something now to interact with itself on a different path. And as it interacts with itself more and more often on many different paths, in many different perspectives, it becomes denser, 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 and forms the different states of reality from higher dimensions to physical reality. But it's all the same. It's all made out of the same one thing, literally. Does that seem clear to you? All right. You may leave them on, bring up the lights if you wish. Now, thank you very much for your assistance. The idea then is to really understand that as you hold on to this visual, as you replay this in your imagination, and as you then look at any one or anything in your reality, allow yourself to expand this visual image you have now been given today in such a way, bit by bit at whatever pace is comfortable for you, that when you, let's say, are sitting in front of a rock or sitting in front of another person, however you wish to do it, that you in your imagination allow yourself to begin to see in your mind's eye this one single particle going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, so quickly that you see it actually building up all of the different atoms in you and in the other object or person you are looking at. Back and forth until you are both flickering so fast that it appears you are actually two solid things. The more you practice this visualization, the more you will begin to actually identify with more and more things in creation, because you will truly understand you are actually all made out of the same one thing. And as you begin to do this, and as you begin to practice this more and more, in a relaxed state, in an open state, and really breathe this in and make it your own, however you wish to do it, then you will begin to see other effects begin to happen in your lives. You will start to unlock your point of view on existence, on creation, on physical reality. You will start to experience different kinds of things. You may suddenly have a sensation that nothing around you is real. It may suddenly look very flat, like what you call a fake movie set. It may, on the other hand, suddenly begin to glow more brightly. It may take on all sorts of different qualities. But what all of those effects simply mean is you are starting to see, truly see, with the inner eye, the inner sight, truly see the universe for what it is, the multiverse for what it is, creation for what it is. One and the same thing that only exists now. And that all things coexist simultaneously. you will begin to expand this ability out and out and out and out to begin to include more and more and more of all the things in creation. When you look at the stars, you will then know, you will then feel and know that all of the atoms in that star are all made out of the same one particle you are made of. Literally. 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 Now, we will get into different aspects of this realization a little bit later on as well.
What would you like, Bashar?
Put them all together. All of them. Count up your counts and add them together. How many yeses for all of you for number 1? How many no's? How many
Right.
yeses for all of you for number 2?
Did you guys do it right? They didn't do it right. You counted all the yeses, but then... Oh, I think class has an issue.
Class has an issue. All right.
What shall we do?
The assignment is to write yes or no if you feel that the star that was called out actually harbors an intelligent civilization in that system. When we call out again, we wish to know the majority of each system, whether you all believe it is yes or no. What's the majority count?
So we can get close, though, because I think there's about 75 people in the room,
All
60 to
right.
75. So if you tell me how many yeses there are, we might get closer to the answer. All right, so for number
We
one...
may do it that way if you wish.
Does that work?
It does.
Okay, good. You know, there's more than one way to...
There is. And that's part of the lesson.
Okay, so if you could tell me how many on number one...
Well, you may
yeses.
skip
Yeah, I
number
can
one.
keep All right. Yeah, I guess there is life there.
Yes, we know. We already spoke to them.
Well, now they know different. Okay, so now for number 2, starting with Jill, how many yes votes do you have for number 2?
2 of them.
Okay, and...
Only 2. Out
okay,
of 4.
that's a good way. You can just count the rest. Okay, and I have a solution to this, so we'll get a good, accurate count.
Would you like to do this more dynamically? Yes. Thank you. Drop all the papers. After all, you are becoming a relatively paperless society.
That's true.
All right. Call out the number and the name, and
Okay.
I will repeat it.
All right. Proximus Centauri.
Proxima Centauri, yes or no? Yes. The no's? No. All right. Alpha Centauri. Well, write down the majority.
Oh, so that was a yes.
That is a majority yes.
Okay.
Write it with your marker
Okay.
on the board.
Oh, on the board.
Yes, the red marker on the board.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. If I can figure out how to open it. Okay. So this is a yes.
Yes. All right. Number 3.
Alpha Centauri.
Alpha Centauri, yes? No? Write down the yes.
Okay. 4. Bernard Star.
Barnard Star, yes? No? Which is it?
I think it's no. But it's pretty 50-50, but I think it's no.
One more time. Barnard Star, yes? No.
I think it's a no. Do you concur?
Put down 50-50.
50-50. Okay.
When we ask for yes, if you're a yes, be the only ones to speak. When we ask for a no, then if you're a no, be the only ones to speak. Do not say no when we ask for the yeses. Next.
Okay, the next one is number 5, Wolf 359.
Wolf 359, yes? No? The no's have it.
All right. The nays have it.
The nays have it.
Okay, number 6. Leuten?
Leutens. Yes? No. Put down yes.
All right. The ayes have it.
Next.
7. Serious?
Serious. Oh, jump the gun, will you? Any no's? Is that no, there are no no's? Or those are the no's? Put down the yeses.
Okay. Number 8. Ross 154.
Yes? No? No.
Okay.
Next.
9 is Ross 248.
Yes? No? Little stronger on the no.
Okay. Number 10 is Epsilon Iridani.
Yes? No? Strong yes.
Okay.
Put strong yes.
Okay. Strong. Yes. All right.
Next.
Number 11, 61 Cygnus.
Yes? No? Little bit stronger on the no.
Okay.
Ah.
I think they want to recount.
61 Cygni. Yes? No? Stronger on the no.
All right. That's what we have. Okay, number 12, Epsilon Indi.
Yes? No? Very strong yes.
All right. Do you want a strong yes, huh?
Yes.
As opposed to a weak yes. Okay. Oh, number 13, Procyon A.
Procyon A. Yes? No? Stronger on the yes.
Okay. Okay, and number 14, Taoceti.
Taoceti. Yes? No? Strong yes.
All right. Okay, and last but not least, number 15, Kruger 60.
Yes? No? Strong no.
Okay.
All right. Now, ask me. Starting with number 1.
Oh, boy. This sounds like fun. Okay. Do you think there's life on Earth?
Do
Soul?
it with the list.
Yes, Bashar. Number 1, soul.
The vote's not in yet.
Okay, number 2, Proxima Centauri.
Yes, visiting.
Should I notate this on the board?
If you wish. Yes, visiting, which means not indigenous, but an established colony. Proxima Centauri. There, in that star system, is the established colony of an alien civilization.
But they're visiting if they're not established.
They were not indigenous. They did not originate from there.
Okay.
Yes, you were born on Earth, weren't you? Then you originate from Earth, don't you? You don't get the point. Your body is born on Earth. I don't care where you come from spiritually, because you all come from everywhere, don't you? Your body was born on Earth, which means you're an Earthling. You follow me? All right, that's what we mean by indigenous. Is that clear? But they have not established a majority colony, have they? All right.
Okay, number 3, Alpha Centauri.
Alpha Centauri, yes, for the same reason, because you're talking about basically a double star system.
So they're both visiting.
Both established colonies, yes.
Okay. Number 4 is Barnard Star.
Yes, as we have said many times, they have a civilization that is not as technologically advanced as your own, and they will be one of the first civilizations your civilization will assist in their spiritual upliftment when you become their UFOs. Right now, they are approximately just coming out of a type or phase of civilization in general that you would relate to as something similar to your own Renaissance. They have different kinds of limitation, not quite what you would call to the same degree, no. Some of them do, but not all of them agree with that. Thank you.
Okay, number 5, Wolf 359.
No.
Okay.
Learn to differentiate between civilizations that may simply pass through or conduct expeditions and civilizations that are actually indigenous or established. Wolf 359 has a high degree of visitation, but it is all only temporary for investigative and scientific purposes. There is no established civilization that comes from that civilization system, nor any civilization that has really established a large-scale colony there.
Okay. Wow. Number 6, Leuten.
No. Next.
Okay. Number 7, Sirius.
Absolutely yes. Both on the higher dimensional levels and on the physical level, as has been already announced by many indigenous civilizations on your planet that have recorded visitations from the physical beings from the star system of Sirius in your ancient past.
Okay. Number 8, Ross 154.
No.
All right. How about number 9, Ross 248?
No.
Okay. Number 10, Epsilon Eridani.
Yes. An indigenous civilization.
Number 11, 61 Cygnus.
A colony. It is a yes, but it is simply a scientific outpost. It is an established scientific outpost. A permanent outpost with individuals coming and going, but the outpost is permanent. When we say visiting, we mean just in ships. But there is a permanent outpost in that system.
Okay. Number 12, Epsilon Indi.
Yes, an indigenous civilization. In fact, 2.
Wow. Just making little notes up here.
Oh, all right.
Indigenous.
Indigenous.
Yes. Okay, number 13 is Procyon A.
No.
Oh, we were wrong on that one. Okay, number 14, Taoceti.
Yes. An indigenous civilization that will also be one of the first you will call brother and sister when you move out into the stars. They will show you the ropes.
Cool. Okay.
You will
and-
work very closely together. They will be one of the first to form a different new alliance of your own, aside from the fact that you will join our association, our interstellar alliance. you will also form a separate alliance with them and some other civilizations, and they will be the first ones to join you. Somewhat, but not exactly, no. They are in your own dimension, so to speak, though they are slightly higher in vibration. You might refer to them to some degree as humanoid, but don't think that they are actually that human looking when you use the word humanoid. We are talking about a time in your civilization when you are traveling in ships that are similar to ours. You will not have a fragmented governmental system at this time. We are speaking of something that is beyond 100 years in the future. They know you are coming. We keep them apprised. They have not had any physical contact with any of you yet. We've shown them photographs. I said beyond 100 years.
And the last one is number 15, Kruger 60.
No. Now then. Now you have a little map to the closest stars that contain civilizations somewhat similar to your own. We have left out other stars on this map for a variety of reasons we will not go into right now. What we have pointed out here are the nearest neighbors that you will be interacting with in some way, shape, or form when you begin to move out into the stars on your own in a new way, similar to the way we move. But this will come after your encounters with the first hybrid civilization that will make open contact with you, and with some other civilizations you already are aware of, such as Pleiadian and so forth. They will be the ones being more closely related to you as cousins, brothers and sisters, who will help you on the beginning of your journey. But once you are out there on your own, these are some of the other civilizations you will meet and form relationships with in a variety of ways, Taoceti being one of the strongest. A true bond will form between you and Taoceti. Now, some of the preparation for bonding with the civilization of Taoceti will begin after 50 years from now in your counting, and some of you may actually on Earth go out in certain ways and meet and have some initial encounters with Taoceti beings. But in terms of the kind of interstellar alliance bond we are talking about, that is beyond the 100-year mark. But this gives you something to look at. It gives you something to play with. And if you, in your playtime, draw out a map of where all of these star systems are relative to your star system and start looking at the routes and the directions you need to go in to get to these systems, it will start linking you and connecting you and give you preliminary contact in your dream time, in your telepathic time. It will start laying the pathways and laying the foundations that might be capable of accelerating these contacts somewhat. We will see how far you get with that. But for now, play with the idea of forming your star at the center and all these stars around you in whatever direction they accurately exist, and make a relative scale of what distance they exist from you as well, using the light years as your scale reference. When you do that, you will start to understand a certain pattern of exact linkage from civilization to civilization, not only with you, but to each other. Play with it and see what you get. This one is loaded with surprises. If you play with it long enough, you're going to find some very interesting things happening in this exploration. So this is an experiment you can carry on yourself, and it will lay the foundations of the next level of contact beyond the one that is already in progress. There will be in this upcoming new year, in and around your month of February, another massive sighting of those who will be the first to contact you, as they lay the foundation to get you used to the sight of their ships. Watch the skies. Listen for the news, and know that it's closer every day. And the closer you become to being yourselves, the closer we come to you. We will, at this timing, thank all of you for the co-creation of this laboratory, for participating in this class. You allowed many more than you know of to participate in this class with you. You have formed bonds in this class, not only with each other on earth in the class, but with others in other classes. And this will also start to come out in your dream times as classmates from elsewhere start to contact you and share notes. Don't cheat. We thank you, our unconditional love to you all, and a fond and exciting good year and happy transition into a new reality next year of your time. Good day.